Hello, Brooklyn.
Kia ora, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing bloody good, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, good. I'm a little bit nervous now after I was listening to your chat. I was like, what am I going to be talking about?
Well, we're talking about you and your stuff because I've come across your website and it seems to fit so beautifully with what we're talking about tonight.
It's so
Um,
unedited right now. I should have made it look beautiful before you.
but I'll tell you what happened. I saw one of your hoodies wandering around Dunedin, and then on
Yes,
the same day I saw someone talking about it in a Dunedin-based Facebook
I
page.
saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
Okay, who is this person? What are they about? And that's actually how I discovered you. I just thought these are amazing. And when we're
That's
talking about mental health, and New Zealanders becoming more accepting of mental health, and I
mm,
kind of think, I think some of the stats we just looked at were becoming more accepting of other people's mental health. But
mm,
actually, I think what you're doing as well, that happens because it's a walking billboard, but also of your own mental health. I'm
mm.
like, this is the dopest thing I've ever seen, and I
Oh
wanted
my
to
gosh,
get
that's
you
so
on and just
nice.
have a chat about it. So
Yeah.
I'm not, so people who are listening to the audio podcast won't see, but
Mhm.
on your website right now, there's a group of hoodies. They've got well, what are they called? Words to heal you written on
Yeah.
them. So one of them ones, this is the one I'm ordering. Yeah,
Yeah.
um, is the world is better with you in it on the back.
Hmm.
So that's what you see, that you see someone standing in a cafe with that on you in front of you. It could just be that thing that
Yeah.
person
Okay.
needs that day to
Mhm.
go, really? The other one that's similar to that is, if you're looking for a sign, this is it. I like that one.
Mm.
And despite everything you've been through, here you are.
Yes, I actually have 4 new ones coming out next week with all different words, which is so funny that you asked me to interview because they're meant to be releasing well, they're set to release next week on Tuesday, so I'm so excited to, like, share new words to heal people and stuff like
Yeah.
that, you know?
You might have to, when you email me back about the one I'm going to buy off
Yes,
you, that you tell me what the new ones are, because
totally,
maybe I'll
I
change
will.
my mind. I want to. So, words to heal you. Tell me the journey. What's it about? How did it start? Why are you doing it?
Yes. Well, I actually only started it in October, um, this past October. Oh, I started the page in August, end of August, last day of August, and then I got too nervous to post on it because the main platform is Instagram. Um, and then I was too nervous to post on it, and then I felt like this nudge to do it. I thought that it was coming out of lockdown. I started the page, the like 15th lockdown or something, and
Mhm.
then I made the page, and then it was in October, end of October, they started selling hoodies.
Wow. And how's it gone? I mean, I guess you're
So
not
good.
doing it primarily as a commercial entity. I mean, that's got to be
Mhm.
a part of it. It's got to pay for itself. But how's the uptake been of people looking at them?
Oh my gosh, it's been amazing. Well, it's at first, the process was I just posted a little story and I was like, "Oh, if you want, a hoodie, you can DM me, like message me." And that's how I sold the first 600. And I had to
Wow.
talk to every single person that wanted one. I had to ask their size, their address. I had to like be so active every single time someone wanted one. And then in February this year, I launched a website, which is my website that you were on, and that's now people can just purchase it like it's a normal, as if it's a normal shop. I was really
Just
like,
like a real shop.
yeah, like a real thing. I was really apprehensive on like it being a business or it being like a legitimate thing because I just want it to be really relaxed. But I think like it's had so much like interest and foot traffic, and so yeah, I just now it's a real thing.
It
Are,
is.
are all the words authored by you, Brooklyn? Is that
Yeah,
something that you're into? Are
yeah.
you a sort of poetry person?
Definitely. So the reason I started, I never intended on starting it like with a business attached to it. I started it because I've always been a writer, and I journeyed well, I've been on a mental health journey since I was really, really young, and my outlet has always been journaling. And so I kind of created it initially and promoted it as like my online journal, and which because I feel like I'd made enough progress to help other people on their journey as well. And so then I was like, here's a little insight to what I write about when I'm going through it. And then now it's like just all for the world to see. And it's really raw and just natural. And there's spelling mistakes on almost every post, but it's
Nice.
me.
Pat would like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Pat
constantly get
specific.
told on Twitter that I just say I've got fat thumbs. So, I can't help myself. Is this your like full-time gig now? Is this what you're doing, or is this still a side hustle?
It's like a bit of both. I work. I have like a job, but then I do that. I work part-time in social media at my church, and then I do this part-time. It's like I'm at a place where it could be my full-time gig. I'm just like nervous. I'm like at that awkward stage where I'm like, this is nerve-wracking. And if I quit my job and then never sell a hoodie again, then I'll, get evicted.
And what would you class? I'll bring up the page again so people can see. What would you class this as? Is this a label? Is this a retail outlet? Well, what actually? How would you classify it?
Yeah. Well, do you know what? I actually tell people when they ask what Words to Heal You is, I say it's a movement. Like, because people say, oh, your business. And I'm like, no, it's not a business. It's a movement. Because I don't, which is like a big label to call myself. But I guess I'm like speaking it out that one day it's going to actually be a real global movement. But for now, I'm like, it is my business. And I treat it like a business, and I have an accountant, and I have like all these protocols, and I guess it is a real business. But it's my movement. It's like
I like that. It's good confidence. I noticed that in the About Me section. Like, don't read my posts as softly spoken. Read them in a
I don't want people to think it's like this cute little like nice page. It's like me telling myself off. Like I did one yesterday, and it was like, who told you that you are not beautiful? And I'm like, I hope people don't read that like, oh, who told you? But like, instead, I'm like staring you in the face, and I'm like, who the heck told you that? I'm telling you off.
The other important thing, and I mean, before you came on, you mentioned we were talking about big scary things, poverty, trauma, housing issues, and that sort of thing. Another important thing, though, and something that just everyday people can do, is have just community and solidarity with one another.
Absolutely.
I think that's really important. I imagine with a project like this, you meet lots of people and grow that movement, as you put it.
Yeah, and hear their stories. How is that, hearing everybody's stories? Because like I don't know her, but I know of her. We all do. Jazz Thornton, like everybody knows Jazz. I sometimes wonder how she handles hearing other people's stories, because that can weigh on us, and that can actually, it's actually quite a skill, people working in that world, to be able to empathize, relate to, but not take on board. How do you find hearing other people's, traumatic, hard, scary, mental health stories?
Yeah. Well, part of my like niche, I guess, is I do like question and responses on my Instagram stories. That's like my number one, I guess, like that's my go-to thing with Words to Heal You. When I think of Words to Heal You, I think of like me asking a question and then people sitting and reflecting on themselves and then responding. And so, for example, it could be like my number one question is, how are you really? And then I'll ask people that, and then people like send in their responses. And I think at first I was like, oh my gosh, this is such an honor, and this is so cool that people feel like they would share this with me. And then I step back and I realized, oh my gosh, people aren't actually sharing it with me. People aren't thinking, oh, I really want to share my story with Brooklyn. Words to Heal You is really anonymous. Like before I had models to model my stuff, it was completely faceless, but the models aren't me, and they aren't a like depiction of Words to Heal You. They're just people modeling my stuff. But it's like I've kind of detached myself from people. Don't actually want to vent to me. They really want to like space where they can outlet their feelings. And sometimes it's really hard. There's been a couple of times where it's been serious and there's been like higher authorities involved, which has been hard because like I don't know what the heck I'm doing and I'm unqualified, but I make sure everyone knows that. But also it's like I feel like I have been gifted by God a big capacity to like love people who are really broken, and so I feel like this like stuff doesn't really take me out, this is like, I feel like this is what I was built for, so I just get to, I don't know, love people who don't feel loved every day.
That's absolutely so important and so cool. And what I love about it, that way I hear you talking, I've had a lot of involvement with the church, so I know some of the phrasing, like when you said I felt a nudging, I'm like, interesting.
It sounds so Christian, but I'm not meaning to sound really Christian.
But it's also what you're doing, as you say, your movement feels very real. And I won't play this whole thing because I think it's 5 minutes, but I don't know if you've seen this yet, George, but for people who haven't, look, we've got people in the chat saying I want one, so we might get you a few more customers.
That's so nice.
Don't panic. We're very small. We're only just soft launching ourselves. You're not going to get inundated. You might get one or two.
Yeah.
I just want to play people maybe the first 30 seconds to show when you talk about being real and kind of gritty and like, you know, talking to the not soft and fluffy. When I watched this, I was like, shit, that's a really good question. Have a listen to this, George.
Question today is, okay, so your question today is, what sets you apart from the rest of the world?
Dude.
That is a very good question.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What sets me apart from the rest of the world?
I reckon I'm pretty good at loving people.
Cool. I haven't actually watched any of the answers yet.
Mom?
Was that looking at Mum for the answer?
Oh my gosh, I can't answer this. Scary. Okay. Wow.
I guess being like part Māori, part Pākehā has probably been a pretty big challenge because a lot of the time you kind of feel like you don't really fit either group.
I think the way I see the world, I think it's so easy to see so much war, so much disunity, so much pain and suffering.
It's an addictive video.
Yeah. I mean, like we'll leave it playing in the background. That's actually, you know, if people want to, they can read along if they're watching. I'll get rid of my thing there. But they can also get it on your website. And for people who are listening, it's a black and white video with people answering the questions. It's amazing, but it feels real. You know, it's real and it's gritty and it's raw. And it's one of the things I like about you know, helping people authentically as well. And I think too often in society we have sort of almost like the rote way of doing something, and if you tick these boxes, everything will be okay. And it's not real life. It's not how we work.
Yeah, and it's boring.
Yeah, getting in there and getting a little bit dirty. It reminds me of that Demolition Man, the Demolition Man movie where at the end the people who live under the city have to get a bit cleaner and the people who live up on top of it have to get a bit dirtier and meet somewhere in the middle. Getting a bit dirtier, I think, is a bit grittier. I think is absolutely an amazing thing you're doing. I'm so inspired by you. It's such a very cool thing, man.
Thank you.
So let's let people know again where they can find out more about you.
Yes.
They can find you at wordstohealyou.com. Wordstohealyou.com. You want to give us a preview of one of your new words coming out on Tuesday?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I can. Maybe I'll show you on my phone because I did a photo shoot.
I'll put you in full. Don't freak out, but I'll put you in full screen so we can see your phone.
I haven't showed many people this.
Ooh, a world exclusive. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, this is super exclusive stuff. I just did my first photo shoot, so I don't know if I've got any of the photos on here, but I can tell you what one of them says. The back of one of them says, "Acting like you don't care is not proper healing," which is exciting. Oh wait, I've got a video that I sent. Oh, here. This is my first reaction to seeing it. Look how excited I am. I sent my boyfriend a video and I was like, my new samples came, but it says, "Acting like you don't care is not proper healing," in capitals. So you're the first in the world to see those ones.
Very cool. Hey, well, look, thanks for sharing that with us. And look, honestly, what you're doing is amazing. Thank you for doing what you're doing. And you know, I hope your movement does. I mean, I was even going to make a bit of a joke about wristbands because, you know, 20 years ago, everyone got different colored wristbands to show what they were. But just however you do it, I hope you get to reach as many millions of people as you absolutely can. And I hope your Instagram page goes from 10,000 to 10 million. And I just like the idea. You know, we've all heard those stories of that one person who needed that one thing said to them in that one moment. You know, I mean, we've all heard those stories about the person who cleaned out his locker at his high school because he was going home to commit suicide. And there was a kid who helped him carry his books home. And that was the one interaction he needed to not carry out the thing he was planning on doing. I feel like your hoodies and your clothing could be that for someone. Yeah. So I think that it's, you know, I think it's amazing. And I love it. I love it. That's why I want one. I want one. So people will be able to. Yeah. It's an amazing thing, man.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Thanks for coming on. And look, you're always welcome. We will talk to you anytime you like.
Love it.
Wordstohealyou.com.
Grateful.
And we really appreciate the work you're doing and for being real and for coming on the show. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm really grateful that you wanted to talk about it.
Thanks,
Brooklyn.
awesome.
Thanks, Brooklyn.
Of course.
Cheers.
See you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, mate.